me, I've been here for a few years. Ekseption is an amazing line, and I'm very excited for you to get more about it. So let's get started.
Thank you, Sophia. So we have a chat box on the bottom. You guys can see it. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop your questions. And Sophia, we're going to be stopping and trying to answer your questions. We want to make it interactive so we can communicate and we can answer all the questions that you may have. So if you don't have an account with us and you're new, I'm going to speak about percentages, concentrations, just to have an overview and a little bit about our brand. And if you have been working with us and you're going to have a better understanding, we're going to go to through some of the products. I know that we're being launching a lot of new products, a lot of retail. So I want to talk to you about selling and about retail because that is very important in today's market, especially with the situation that we're living. So let me share my screen with you guys. So give me 1 second here. Okay, let me just go to the beginning of the slideshow. And you guys have it here, okay? So we're going to talk about Ekseption, but we're going to talk about peels. I don't want to make it into a sales presentation. I really want to share some knowledge with you because I have realized that the training that we received in USA, it's very different than the European training. So, you know, every time I went, I learned so many new things and I had to reprogram my brain. And a lot of the things make sense. So I'm going to go over some of the things with you guys today in this presentation. So we're going to be talking about peelings, and I can share with you that when I graduated or I finished school, even years later, I've always had, I was always concerned about working with peels. I had a lot of questions because I realized I was not properly trained. And the trainings that we received were very basic, especially when we go to school. It's very basic. It just tells you basically what the peel is used for, but they don't tell you much about, you know, mixing, concentrations, pH. And I think this is where my lack of confidence doing peels came. So I want to, if you have any questions, this is the time to ask. So I'm going to go over some of the things. So peeling, one of the things I want you to start thinking is that it's more than an exfoliation. So when we talk about peelings, we're going to talk about getting deep into keratinocyte layers and removing pigmentation. Now, it's not just only for pigmentation. It can be used for many other things, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So it can be very keratolytic, which means there can be a lot of exfoliation, or it cannot. Now, I want you to understand that if you're not having heavy peeling, doesn't mean the peel is not working, because we have people that have cases like rosacea, Couperos, skin sensitive, that they're not looking for exfoliation. And it has other functions like fibroblast activity, like pigmentation. We're going to go into that. So it's just more than just an exfoliation. So talking about that, I want to talk to you a little bit about the skin and the anatomy of the skin. So we are very used to, and I have a picture of my skin here, or a block actually that you guys can see. And what I want you to understand, I want to explain is that we were taught to remove the epidermis, this first layer of the skin, with the peel. So back in the day, we will take an acid, a bottle of glycolic, salicylic, you know, whatever, PLTCA, and just put it on the face, create a burn, first degree burn, the skin will come off, and that's what we're calling a peel, right? Because we were having all the skin coming off. So one of the things that I learned, and I want to share with you, is that we're not about removing epidermis. We want to keep the epidermis intact. Why is that? Because your dermis, which we see right here, right? This is your dermis. This is going to be exposed. So if we remove this first layer, this second layer is going to be exposed to sun damage and environmental damage. So it makes total sense. So what we want to do is keep this first layer very strong to protect this layer. So when we did a lot of the aggressive peels in the industry, what we realized is, or I realized personally, that the skin becomes thinner and the problem becomes worse because we're only removing the first layers, but the problem is still in the deeper layers of the skin. We still have that pigmentation, we still have that melanocyte activity. So what we want to do now, and I want you to start thinking about protecting that epidermis. There's no need to peel and remove, especially older people. I don't know if you guys remember when, you know, the very aggressive peels that you will have 5 days of downtime came up. they will have very translucent, thin skin because they will do one. And of course, the skin looks good for the first month, but then after that, it becomes worse. And again, it's so exposed. We have the dermis completely exposed and there is no protection. That's why we encounter more and more problems. Another thing to keep in mind, every state is different with percentages. So check with your state and your board because we have accounts throughout the United States. But percentages are very important. We need to go a little bit higher on percentage and a little bit lower on pH in order to have better penetration of the peel and in order to have better results. So we're going to talk about that. So just keep in mind that because it's not peeling the skin and removing the epidermis doesn't mean it's not working. Now we're going to learn about a new generation of peels. It's called the polyhydroxy acid. So we're going to talk about that in a second. So the indication for the peels. We also thought peels are only used for pigmentation, and it's not true. We can use peels for different indications. So one of the indications that we can use it for example, will be for regulation of the skin microflora. People that have rosacea, people that have seborrhea, people that we need to regulate the pH. This will be really good. People that have acne and has extra production of oil is also going to help. Anybody that has aging skin, imperfections, texture of the skin can be improved also, free radical protection, just some of the things that we can treat with these peels. And it's funny because we have one that's called the Couperos peel and it's for Couperos skin. And it didn't make sense to me when we first got it because I'm like, okay, if we have a sensitive, irritated, inflamed skin, why are we going to put an acid? After I used it, I realized that the peel will help not only with the inflammation, but the capillaries were also less inflamed and less visible and the skin calmed down. So we can use the way they're designed, you can use to treat all these different things. It can also be used for scars. It can be used for hyperpigmentation and also to stimulate fibroblast activity because we want to restructure the skin, right? We want some collagen production, collagen and elastin. So there's just so many things. So we have about 13 peels in our brand, if not more, because we keep getting new ones that will treat different things. We have some for aging, we have some for acne, we have some for acne and Couperos skin, we have some for sensitive skin. So they are all different. It's about, you know, making the right decision for your patient. All right, let's go to the next slide. This is not moving, give me 1 second. There it is. Okay, so the functions of the peel. So we have so many different peels. We have ferulic, we have glycolic, we have mandelic, we have TCA, we have so many. So they are very different. So I want you to understand that some of them are gonna be more keratolytic and some of them are gonna be more stimulating. So we see here, you see with my mouse. So we see here when we go down to like the lactic and the ferulic, those are be more stimulating. So they're going to hydrate, they're going to help some of this with inflammation. When you go up on your salicylics, your retinol, your TCA, they're going to create more of an exfoliation. So that's how they work. They have different functions. They're not all the same. If you want, please take a picture of this. We're also going to be recording this webinar. And if you want, we can email it to you and we can also answer your questions. Let's talk about the strength of the peels. So how strong these peels are. And for what I remember, I was told the higher the peel, you know, the stronger it is. So we can go up to 30%, you know, 60%, 50%. And the pH, the lowest, the more penetration. But if you look at a peel and you read the bottle, I don't want you to just focus on the percentage and the pH because there are so many other factors that will influence this peel to be either stronger or to be more mild. So one of the things is the molecular weight of the acid. So this is going to show you how much they're going to penetrate. So if it has a very low molecule acid, that means it's going to penetrate more into the epidermis. And you can ask this to the companies that you work with, because again, of course, I'm gonna talk about Ekseption because that's the company I represent. But if you're using a different brand, by any means, feel free to ask all these questions because this is gonna help you understand the function of each peel and how much penetration you're gonna have. So remember, the lower the molecule, the more penetration you're gonna have into the epidermis. The polarity, so some of them are gonna be soluble in alcohol and some of them in oil, like your retinols, for example, in oil. So they're going to penetrate deeper if you're going to have the alcohol or the oil. So that's important to keep in mind. The concentration, so if we have a 30%, a 50%, a 60, of course, we got to keep that in mind. The percentage of the acid, we just talk about, and the pH. So the pH is what's going to help penetration of the peel, right? So if we have under 3, our peels are medical graded. So we have under 3, you have a much higher penetration than if you go above 3. The contact time on the skin. So some of the peels that dry really, really fast, we have less contact than the ones that will stay more in contact with the skin. So contact time on our peels, we give you protocols and they're all different. Some of them are gonna have 2 minutes contact time, other ones are gonna have 3, other ones are gonna have 1 minute. So it really depends on the peel and how it was designed. So that's important. It's not on this PowerPoint, I don't see it, but the layers. So how much peels are you gonna add? How much are you layering? Some of the peels will call for 3 layers, some will call for 5 layers, some will call for 1 layer. So the amount of layers, it's also going to tell you how deep it's going to penetrate. The conductivity of the peeling is the speed of the diffusion of the solution and the preparation of the skin. So we work with pH with this brand, and you're gonna see a lot of the brands right now, even the beauty stores are talking about pH. Because if we don't have a balanced pH, our skin can be very acidic or not, and it can make it very dry or very oily. So we want to make sure that our pH is balanced when we are working with this peel. So we have a prep, which totally makes sense to me, that most companies don't have a prep, because you should prepare the skin to receive the peel. You should prepare the skin to penetrate and receive the peel. And then we have a post. So how does this work? Your prep is gonna lower your pH to 3 on the skin, meaning you're gonna have a higher absorption, it's gonna go deeper into the skin. And then you're gonna, once post-procedure, you're gonna use products that have a pH of 5 or more that are going to balance that pH. So we wanna play with the skin, with the pH, in order to get results. So these are in preparation also. If the skin was exfoliated, if it was degreased, we have something called degreased solution. If you clean with that, then you have less stratum corneum and you're gonna have a higher absorption. So the more you prep the skin and the more exfoliated it is going to penetrate. So this is interesting to keep in mind. It's just so many factors when you're doing peels. And I get a lot of practitioners that are always calling saying, you know, I'm not successful in pigmentation. I don't know how to treat this. And I see that there is a lack also on assessment. I'm going to try to do a webinar all about pigmentation because I think it's important and it's needed. So we can really understand the pigmentation and do a very good assessment and know which one to choose. So it's just not using the peel and saying, well, you know, the brand I'm using doesn't work. If you don't choose the right one, it's like a computer. If you enter the right information, it's going to work, right? It's going to give you all the right information. If it's entered wrong, it's not going to work. So before you give up on the peels, you know, also get trained by the company that you work with and make sure that you understand 100% their chemistry and how it works before using the products. Let me go to the next slide. Okay, before we move forward, do we have any questions, Sophia? I cannot hear you. I'm sorry, Sophia, I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry, no questions at this time, but if anyone does have anything, please feel free to ask.
All right, thank you. So we're going to talk about polyhydroxy acids. And what I have, you know, I have some information here. So the polyhydroxy acids, you heard of alphas and betas. So polyhydroxy is the same lactic, the same glycolic, but it is going to be in a larger molecule. And remember, we talk about the lower the molecule, the more it's going, faster it's going to penetrate. So when we have a bigger molecule, so what's going to happen is when it's bigger, it's going to penetrate slower. Therefore, we're not going to have any damage of the epidermis, and this is why. So there's no peeling, there's no stinging, there's no damage of your epidermis. We can do now a 60% peel with a pH of 2, which is very medical and very strong, and your patient will not experience the burn, will not experience the peeling. There is no need to have a fan anymore on their face like we used to back in the day. Now they're just going to get great results, and the skin is going to be protected. So our peels are alcohol-free, so they're very comfortable for the application also. They have a technology that controls the diffusion. Therefore, because we have the polyhydroxy acids and they're bigger molecules, they're going to be very slow. So we can control diffusion of the acids and, getting into the skin, into the epidermis. And it also has a low surface tension on the skin on the application. So it's a perfect contact where it's going to be very protective of the skin. You're not going to have any problems. I always tell the therapist, trust me, I will make sure that you understand and that you're not going to have any problems. I had a spa owner that came here for the first time. We did a peeling on him. It was actually a lactic 50% and pH, I think it was 2.5. And he kept going, it doesn't work. I was here with Dr. Colligan at the time. It's like, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, why do you think it's working? I don't feel anything. I'm like, okay, well, that's the whole idea. It is penetrating. It is going to help with the hydration. It's going to brighten the skin without the peeling. Then he left, the skin looked fantastic, but even the next day looks better. He called and he opened for his spa. He's got a franchise. He opened a large account because he was very happy with the results. It's about how you educate your client, because most of them are used to peeling and damaging of the skin. So they're going to have a little bit of resistance, but resistance is good because it gives you the opportunity to teach them and communicate with them and just tell them again, every therapist should have a block of the skin and understand the anatomy of the skin and tell them, do you want me to remove all this layer and burn it? Or you want me to just get here where your melanocytes are and your pigmentation and really remove that, protecting your skin, and it makes sense. They go, oh, okay, it totally makes sense. So make sure that you educate them before using the system, because if they're expecting peeling downtime, being home for 3 days, that is not going to happen with this peel. It's going to be the opposite. The skin is going to look super glowy. It's going to look very hydrated. And it's going to look very bright. And that's what we should expect. And I'm going to share some pictures with you guys along the way in this presentation. So let's talk about the basic protocol on the peels. So for the ones that are using it, just the cleansing, you're going to use the cleansing. You're going to remove any excess of fat or sebum. We have a degreasing solution. That's what it does. You apply the peel. And then once you leave the peel on the skin, you put the layers according to the protocol, you neutralize. So we use something called carboxy. If you look at step 4, and we're going to talk about it, carboxy neutralizer. So if you heard of carboxy, let's talk a little bit about that. Carboxy therapy is great for oxygenation. It's used with an injector. I had it done in my hands. It's very rejuvenating. It creates oxygenation into the skin underneath the eyes, and it works for cellulite. So it's an injector that doctors use, but now we have it on a liquid form. So what it is going to do, carboxy is going to neutralize that peel. When it neutralizes, it foams and it creates a little bit of a shock. So you get redness. It's called the borax effect. What that's going to do, it's going to create a very intense hydration because it attracts a lot of hemoglobin to the site. So hemoglobin loves carboxy therapy. So once we apply the carboxy, we spray on the face right on top of the peel. It creates the shock, and immediately hemoglobin comes to the site. And guess what? Hemoglobin brings a ton of oxygen. So you guys can Google it. It's called the borax effect. And if you need more help or how to explain it to your clients, I'd be happy to do so. Just give us a call or set up an appointment. And then you apply a repair cream. So that's the basic protocol of the peels. So now let's see which ones we have here. We're going to talk about some of them. We do have the retinol peel. This one is an oil-based formulation, and the protocol on this one is a little bit different. This one you don't neutralize. You massage on the skin, and your client, and right after you massage it, 15 minutes later, you apply repair cream and you send them home. They will wash their face in 6 hours. This is the only peel that's going to create a little bit of exfoliation of the skin. So just keep that in mind. If you're using a retinol peel, that one is not meant to be neutralized. So we're gonna have other peels that I'm gonna talk about, like the soft touch. If you're using our brand, great, but I'm gonna go one by one. If you don't, I'm gonna explain to you what we have. So we have a very soft peel that we can use. It's called the Soft Touch. It's very light. So when you're gonna do a peel, I don't want you to go right into a 50% pH of 2. I like you to try that skin, especially if you've never treated it. And I want you to do a soft peel, something low like a 13% with a pH under 3, about 3 or 3.5. And just to make sure how the skin reacts. Are they very sensitive? Is the skin going to get inflamed? Are they going to get redness? Are they allergic? I mean, there are so many things that it is better to test using a very light peel before going into the series, because these peels are done in a series. So we're going to do it once a week for either 3 weeks or 5 weeks, depending on the protocol. So it's called progressive peels. We're going to slowly remove the pigmentation or correct the skin along the way without causing so much damage. The great thing is you can charge for these peels about, it's a medical line. So I have on my accounts on the lower 125, on the higher 250. I personally, a while back, paid with a dermatologist, 6 peels, I think it was, no, I'm sorry, it was 4 peels for $225, I think I'd pay each. And I paid it because it was medical. So this is medical graded. And I always tell my practitioners, I'm gonna teach you how to make $200 in 15 minutes, because that's about how long it takes to use this peel, 15 minutes between cleansing, application, neutralization, and the skin looks fantastic. The great thing is you're gonna see them a couple of times. So some of the peels call for 2 sessions, all other peels will call for 5 sessions, and we can send you the peeling protocol. So if you're working with a line and you don't have it, put your email there, Sophia will send it to you, and we'll send you the protocol, because we tell you in the protocol step by step how to do each peel. So it's very easy to follow. And, you know, just choosing the correct one, as we can see here on the picture, we have several peels, choosing the right one for the right client. And it's a 15 minutes, and then you see them every week. The great thing is you build a relationship with them. They're gonna love the results. They're gonna be very happy. And then as you know, they come in, you can tell them about other services that you offer. But right now is peel season, it's November. It already started. People want to get ready for the holidays. They want to get rid of the pigmentation because of summer. And, you know, they're ready to look good. And now with the current situation that we're having, which is very sad, but in our industry, we had a lot of pluses, like the retail. So retail right now is huge. We had double our sales in retail because people are home, they are bored, they're tired of feeling ugly because you know they don't want to go and get their facial sometimes. So this is the time to retail. So if you don't have an e-commerce website, start thinking about building one. It's $30 a month. You have all your products and your clients can purchase. You can do phone consultations. You can talk to them. We're going to have a webinar about that, phone consultations. And you can actually talk to them. And you can ask them, how's your skin doing? What is going on? You know, I can recommend this product, that product. Use that until I see you next time. Here is a discount coupon for 10% or free shipping. Just go ahead and order on our website. And you're going to continue that relationship with your clients and they're going to continue to purchase. So I just want to teach you a little bit about, you know, marketing in this difficult time. Retail, it's where the money is. Any questions, Sophia?
No questions at the moment.
Okay, great, great. So we'll continue. I just want to give you an opportunity to make it interactive so we can talk and we'll continue.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk about some of the peels. So this is the way the protocol basically looks like, very similar. It has just the information on how to use these peels. So we have here, for example, the Ageless Plus. So the Ageless Plus, as we can see here, is a water-based gel. So I'm gonna say, okay, so it's water-based. So this is not an oil, so this is going to penetrate fast. It also has a 20% concentration, so it's a medium peel. It's not gonna be too strong. pH 2.5 is a little low, so I know it's gonna have some penetration. And it's gonna be good for wrinkles and anti-aging. So I'm going to use this for my client who's got signs of aging and they just want to renew the skin, make it brighter, make it look healthier. And on the right hand side is going to tell you which Fitzpatrick patient you can be using it on. and it's going to tell you how many coats. So for example, the Ageless, so we have Ageless and Ageless Plus. Just think that when you have plus, it's always going to be stronger. Ageless is going to be lower. So your Ageless Plus, now if we look on the bottom here, it is a 30% with a 2.25. So this is going to be a little bit stronger. Why do we have 2 peels and not just one, right? Well, what do you want to sell me to? It's very easy, because we're going to have a low percentage people that have thinner skin, more sensitive skin, that are older. You don't want to go too strong. Somebody that's younger, let's say under 40s, 50s, with strong skin that hasn't had any aggressive procedures, you can go a little bit stronger. So this is why we create a base and we create a plus. So you have those options. And it's also going to tell you, if we look in the right-hand side, coats. So you're going to put 1 to 2 layers, and you're going to have 3 minutes in between. So I have a timer here that I use. So I apply my first layer with a brush, wait 3 minutes. If the skin permits, I can do a second layer, and then we're going to neutralize. So basically, as long as you follow the protocols, you're going to be safe. And then on the bottom, it tells you how many procedures. This peel, the Ageless Plus, you're going to sell to your client 4 procedures. So when they come in, she's aging, she has good skin, she's never had any procedures, is strong, is thick. I'm gonna go for aging with the Ageless Plus, Miss Mary. We're gonna do 4 procedures. So we're gonna start today. It's a progressive peel, so it's not gonna damage your epidermis. It's not gonna damage anything in your skin. It's not gonna burn. We're going to protect it. We actually have a blend that has hyaluronic acid and it has peptides. And now they're very different. It's a new generation of peels. In the dermatologist newsletter, last year, it said the new peels don't peel. So now we have the newest generation. So I'm going to be working with you. We're going to progressively treat your skin. We're going to start with 1 procedure today, but you're going to need, 2 or 3 or 4, depending. You guys will know by looking at the skin. I'm going to see you every week. We charge $250, but since you're buying 4 procedures, we're going to give it to you for $175 or whatever, $150, whatever you guys want to do, if you buy the 4 sessions. Now, while people are a little tight with money right now, let me tell you something interesting. I'm in Florida, of course, but here in the industry, people don't care about paying for procedures. And I realize that they don't even want to go out. I have a family member that she doesn't go anywhere because she's scared. However, she wanted to get HIFU and she called me and I said, yeah, but you're so scared and you're going to be very exposed here. Oh, no, that's okay. I have my mask. And everybody else, I can tell you so many stories. So don't assume people don't have money. Don't assume people don't want to pay, because that is in your head. I always say that people have money and people will pay to look better versus paying their electric bill. And that's just how it is in our industry right now. They just want to look beautiful. And if their money is a challenge, then I'll tell you what, Miss Mary, let's pay for 2 today. You pay half and the other half on your next treatment, but have them commit to do those treatments in order to get results. And again, don't assume and ask for the sale, ask for the money. I see a lot of estheticians, a lot of people in the industry that are scared about asking for the money because people do want discount. So I'm gonna give you a tip. If you're one of those people that are scared of asking for the money, tell them, it's $150 or $125, whatever you wanna tell them. And then what I'm gonna do for you, because you're my cousin or my friend, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of samples complimentary from our brand. You guys, every time you order a product from us, you get 2 samples complimentary for each retail product. So use those samples to give to your clients, and don't forget, ask for the money. Okay, so it also recommends here on the right-hand side on the bottom that they should have an activator and they should have an SPF. So this is the home care. What we're gonna do before we do the peel on Miss Mary, so Miss Mary is gonna buy a pH activator. And this pH activator, what it does, it lowers the pH to 3 and is going to stop melanocyte activity. So we're not going to have any more melanocyte activity, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because we want to stop that production so we can work removing the pigmentation. And then we want them to use the All Day Shield. Well, I have a sunblock that I buy from whatever store. Well, Miss Mary, the difference is our sunblock, number 1 is sterile, 2 is plant-based, and 3 has ferulic acid, which is an inhibitor for melanin. So that's why it's a whole system. And I need you to use these 2 products just to prep the skin a week prior. and then you can go back to your products. I'm sure they're wonderful, but this is just part of the treatment. So make it part of the treatment. And then they need to buy a repair cream, which is going to be an ice cream repair, caviar repair. We'll talk about that. And again, the all day shield, the sun protection. So that's all they need to buy. You can also sell them the sessions, the 6 sessions, and raise the price a little bit, of the 3 sessions, and raise the price a little bit and give them the products for free, which really it's included. At least they have their activation. So just be creative, because they're going to need or lower the price, and they need to buy those 2 products. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Sophia?
Yes, sorry. I do have a question
Yes.
from Joe. She asked if the peels are going to produce visible frosting.
No, they don't. You're not going to see anything. So when you apply the peel, it just looks very shiny. And once it dries and you do your layers and your layers and your time in contact, you're going to spray carboxy therapy. And what you're going to see is foaming. So the carboxy, it's what's going to neutralize. And remember, the reason we create the borax effect, that shock effect, so you see foaming, is so we can get oxygenation through hemoglobin coming to the site, bringing oxygen. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
All right. So this is a before and after, and I'm going to tell you guys, this was with the Ageless Plus. This was actually one of our estheticians that works in Miami. She's new. I'm very impressed by her. She's new. She just started. She just graduated, and she's been very diligent about her education. She's taking a lot of classes, and she took this picture and posted on social media. It was Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, and it just went crazy. Everyone wanted to know this was one peel, what she did. This was just one peel. So notice that not only the pigmentation improved, but since it's an anti-aging peel, we see texture of the skin. If you look at the forehead right here, these fine lines are less visible. And we can see the glow of the skin. This is just right after. This is immediately. The glow of the skin, the hydration increase. Look at the fine lines around the eye area and right here on this eye. Definitely improved pigmentation, hydration, glowy. So this is what you're going to expect. Now you understand why we don't want to burn someone, send them home to peel for 5 days and that's it. And not even prep the skin, which is even worse, because most of the companies that have the aggressive, there's no prep. You just throw the acid, burn, and send them home. So this is what we can expect right after the first peel. So this is an anti-aging peel, textured wrinkles, aging skin, and of course brightening, and this is what we see. This was the Ageless Plus, and this was a photo from Russia, one of our accounts in Russia, and the Plus was a little bit stronger. This client, of course, had the skin, very good skin, and we can see improvement in the fine lines and wrinkles and the texture of the skin as well. So remember, it's just not for pigmentation. We can treat so many things with peels and just get very good results. 15 minutes, quick results, great revenue, happy client. It's just a win-win. All right, let's go to the next. So White Up. This is by far my favorite peel, I think, of all of them, because White Up, it targets exactly, no, actually this is the pure skin, but this is a good one too. So the White Up is going to be for pigmentation. So this is going to, it has peptides as well. And again, it's a blend, as you can see here on the ingredients. It has phytic acid, mandelic. When you see glucolacton, let me see my mouse, let me get it here. Okay, glucolacton right here is the same glycolic. If you see here lactobionic, it's the same lactic. What is the difference? Is that this is polyhydroxy acid, meaning it's a bigger molecule. So when you see these words, you know it's a bigger molecule, but it's the same. Tranexamic acid, which is very trendy too, very good for brightening of the skin. So here are all of the ingredients. It's a water-based solution. So, okay, I already know it's gonna have good penetration. We have a White Up that's at 20%. We have a White Up Plus that's at 30%. So this is a little bit stronger. And the pH is 2.5. So now I kind of have an idea of how strong the peel is. Right here on the right, let me move my picture here, let me move it here. Okay, so here, this one, we can do 4 procedures of the White Up, and then the White Up Plus on the bottom, 3. See the difference, because one is stronger than the other. So Miss Mary is coming for pigmentation. She had a lot of treatments, she got a lot of peels, her skin is very sensitive. I'm gonna go with the White Up. I don't wanna go too strong because her skin is already very damaged and burnt. She has translucent skin, not a lot of epidermis, so let me go with that one. And this, Miss Mary, we're gonna sell you four procedures once a week. You're gonna be coming to the office and we're gonna see great results. Now, if we have someone that has better skin, then 3 times. Same thing for the home care activation. You have an activator that's gonna stop melanocyte activity, and then your post-procedure. Here we have some pictures. So this is Ekseption in Australia. So we sell, Ekseption sells to 50 or 52 countries by now. Very successful. Ekseption came out last year. We were the first company in the USA using polyhydroxy acids, and it's growing very, very fast. Here we see great results with the white appeal. Look at the pigmentation. And this was after a series. I can't tell how many because it doesn't say, but I would say at least 4 treatments. But we can see major improvement, maybe 4 treatments of the pigmentation. So this is what you guys would expect. And Sophia, along the way, let me know if you have questions. All right, so Couperos. This is very interesting. And again, when we first received it, and I was gonna do a test, because everything we do here, we test. And I was like, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna put this in somebody that has rosacea. So I did it on my daughter. She has rosacea. She had a lot of capillaries. She had acne rosacea. So it was a very stressed skin, very red, very irritated. And what Couperos peel did is it calmed the skin completely, reduced the inflammation 100%. By the time we were done with the peel, the skin looked amazing. It was calm, redness was gone, capillaries were less noticeable. So again, we have here the composition of the salicylic. It's a water-based solution. It's an 11% acid, so it's very low with a pH of 2.5. And this one, you can do 4 procedures every 7 days. Right on top, we have a ferulic. Ferulic is also for very, very sensitive skin, 19% with 2.75. So these are gonna be your peels for the sensitive skin, and you neutralize with carboxy. They also take their prep and their post-procedure products that we see right here on the bottom. Okay. Now, here is a picture right after Couperos peel, and this is in Ukraine. This is we're all over the world, right, guys? We're like traveling everywhere. So we're here with the Couperos peel. 1 treatment. This was by a doctor in Ukraine, and this is exactly what I noticed with my daughter. The skin was beautiful, and actually she kept the results for a while. We repeated once, and that was it. She only needed 2, and her skin was completely calm. So now let's not think about peels only for pigmentation, but for correction. So now we can use it. So this is a great, great picture. We're gonna go to Caviar and Pure Skin. So this is fun. They have so many different products. So your Caviar peel is also for very sensitive, I will say hypersensitive, extremely sensitive. So what we're seeing here different than all the other peels is that we have a pH of 3.2. So the penetration is going to be more superficial, not only because it has the polyhydroxy acids, we have control, it's a very slow release, it's a very high pH, so it doesn't penetrate as deep, and it's a 16%. Has a lactobionic, meaning it has the lactic, the glycolic. It also has peptides, and it has caviar extract. So caviar is a protein. And just so you know, we don't use animal, we don't do animal testing. This is all lab created, and it's very effective, and it has hyaluronic acid. So again, we have a blend that's very protective of the skin. Pure Skin, and that one we do 4 procedures. The Pure Skin is the one for acne. Now, when working with acne patients, first of all, understand when it's time to go to dermatologists and when you can treat it, because I get a lot of emails and pictures where the bacteria is so uncontrollable and it's everywhere that at that point they need to have or be on antibiotic. And it's just, you know, it's very reactive. So make sure that you control the bacteria, that you do a nice cleansing. And then once everything is closed after the cleansing, you can use the Pure Skin peel, and it's going to kill any bacteria that's left. But the great thing is that it also helps with inflammation. It's going to calm the skin, the redness, if they have any rosacea. So it's very calming. And at the same time, it's going to kill bacteria, and it's going to hydrate the skin. Sounds really crazy, but now you understand the chemistry of it and why I can make those claims that these peels will do that. So I'm gonna share a picture here for the Pure Skin. So this was somewhere, I don't know where, but somebody out of the country first treatment and second treatment. So we see improvement, especially the texture of the skin is what I noticed. Look at the inflammation, how it's come down, the redness. And I'm gonna show you another picture. So this is Sophia. Sophia, I always put you on the spot. And this picture I did for Sophia, and I'll tell you the truth, I'm telling you to calm the skin, clean everything. I didn't do any prep on her because this is when I first came back from Spain and I wanted to, you know, play around with the peels and practice everything that I learned so I could educate you and understand how it works. So I called her off guard and said, come here, you have acne, let me try this peel. Not even extractions, and that was just amazing that I didn't even do extractions. I'm like, imagine if I would have done the extractions. And Sophia, if you can come on and tell us a little bit about this picture, because I don't recall, was this the same day? Oh no, I see you have different clothes. Was this the same day? It looks so glowy.
This is actually day by day from when I got the peel done. So my skin was very, you know, irritated. It looks like there's a lot of bacteria, but my skin cleared up miraculously. I've tried products in the past, and this was really the only thing that's helped maintain my skin. And especially with my rosacea, even if I didn't have the acne, it was just always red. And I'm just really happy with the results. And I've tried recommending it to almost everyone I know because I know it works. I'm one of, like, I would say, like, the clients, I would say this is like a clinical study on my end. And it completely changed my skin, the way I saw myself, my confidence went up. It's just a huge treatment for me.
All right, and Sophia, question for you. So this picture, the first three on top, so it was day by day, so you did every day for 5 days?
Yep, I did that, and the last picture was actually, there's no editing, no nothing. I tried taking it in the same light. So yeah, that's day by day as it healed and the bacteria just completely went away and my skin.
Do a second treatment?
Hmm?
Do we do a second treatment?
The second one, we tried the Couperos for the rosacea.
Okay, but you didn't do, this was one treatment. Okay, and any post-procedures that you remember you used?
I actually used at the time I've been using the Deep Repair. I used some of the All Day Shield. I tried the new, which one was it? The probiotic, which was actually helping a lot as well. I pretty much played around with a lot of the Ekseption products. It was very exciting, yeah.
Great, thank you for the feedback. And I wanted, because my memory is really bad as I get older, so I just wanted to get Sophia's, because I don't remember. I remember doing it because this was about a year ago. And we can see improvement because I know everyone struggles. So if you do a nice cleaning, control bacteria, and you do the peel, they're going to have great skin. What you can do is put them on the, what do you call it? The activator, the pure skin activator, and that will work. All right, great. So yeah.
I have one question as well.
Yes.
Can I perform a peeling on acne skin while the client is taking an antibiotic?
Okay, that is a very good question. I always say, you can, because I have done it and you will be fine. But anytime you have a concern, always get, because if they're under treatment with a dermatologist, you want to get a consent and make sure that it'll be okay to do a peel. So that's important. Always get a consent. With the antibiotic, it will be fine. I have done a lot of these peels and it's good, it's mild. But again, it's always good when you have your clients to just make sure that if they're going under treatment and understand and ask them also, I tell them, go to the dermatologist and get a diagnosis. It's very important. Not take it up on yourself and just start doing treatments. Yeah, we can treat acne, but what is the source of it? Is it hormonal? Is it stress related? What is going on to the skin? What's going on inside the body? Is it rosacea? There is adult acne rosacea, which I had. It was horrible. And there are just so many kinds, and it's good to have a diagnosis on anything that you do and understand the treatment that they're doing in order to work with the practitioner if they're under doctor's work. But I like to actually put them on, or send them, somebody that has a lot of acne, to the dermatology and get a little bit on antibiotics. It doesn't have to be forever, just to control. And then once it's controlled, we can withdraw slowly, and then we can take over and start working on the skin. Okay, I hope that answered your questions. Any other questions? All right.
For now.
All right, so let's just move forward. And this is fascinating. So we're doing a lot of the things with the peel. So the retinol peel and the water infusion. So retinol It's a 4% salicylic and vitamin E and retinol, I'm sorry, retinol 4%, salicylic and vitamin E. So this is gonna be for rough skin, pores that are very enlarged, skin that is oily. So somebody older with enlarged pores, thick skin, wrinkles, photo aging, laxity. So this is gonna be a good one. And this you only do once a month. And again, let me move here this so you guys can see. Oh, sorry. Okay, just wanna move here. So you're gonna do one layer and you do 2 procedures only, 30 days in between. So Miss Mary is gonna get one today and another one in the next month. So that's how the retinol, so it's only 2 pills. Your water infusion is gonna be just a hydration, what it sounds like. It's a water infusion for dry, mature skin, dehydrated, fine lines, wrinkled, rough skin. Now we're looking at a 50% with a pH of 2.5. And this one, we're gonna do 3 procedures. So Miss Mary is gonna buy 3 weeks and 3 procedures, and you can put 1 to 2 coats between treatments. We're gonna see a picture here. And Fitzpatrick, it's important that you know, and which each company, if you're not working with Ekseption and you're working with a different company, please by any means ask your company about Fitzpatrick and which ones you can and can't do. On our protocol book, we tell you exactly, that way you know, and it's very easy to follow. So this was Pure Skin Peel. So she was experiencing some acne, and they did a Pure Skin, which is for acne, and then the retinol peel to leave on after, and this is the results that they got. So they're working with aging, quality, and acne. They were working with both. So this is a great result. Here we have water infusion, ferulic peel, also Instagram. I'm not sure who posted these pictures, but here we see great improvement. This neck that we're seeing here, I can see very thin skin. I can see a lot of laxity, especially dehydration. I always say it's like a plant, right? When you don't put water, it completely dries the soil. When you put water, it gets nice and moist. It's the same thing with the skin. So we can see here major improvement on the neck area, on the texture and the hydration. So this is ferulic. And what else they use? Just the ferulic, actually. Interesting. Water infusion. They use water. They use both. Okay, so glucose. This is a glycolic. You know, I'm just going not so much into detail because I don't want to get you bored with this. But we have the glucose and the lactose. So the glucose is a 44% acid, pH of 2.5. And your water, lactopeel is a lactic also for hydration, 50% with a 2.25. So these are some of the strongest peels. And as you can see here on the right, the procedures is gonna be 3 weeks, 7 procedures, and your layers are only 1, maximum of 2 layers. So brush, apply 1 layer, wait 2 minutes, apply the second, wait 2 minutes, and neutralize. On the glucopeel, you're gonna apply only 2 layers, and that you wait a little longer, is 3 minutes in between. So if you follow protocol, you will get really good results. Soft touch is just what it is. It's a soft peel, beautiful for someone who has a wedding or wants to look fabulous for the next few days. And this can be, it's a 13% acid, pH of 3.5. So it's going to be just a light brightening exfoliation. And you can also use it to just test someone's skin. And just the first peel, you can do this to see how the skin is going to react. And then you can move them to the more strong peels. All right, any questions on the peels? Because I'm gonna move and talk a little bit about the skincare and why do we recommend post-procedure products and pre-procedure?
No questions at the moment.
All right, thank you, Sophia. So we talk about, you know, skincare. So we talk about prepping the skin, and we talk about, let me just move this. So prepping the skin, and we talk about getting the pH balance after. So we're going to have pre and post procedures. You're pre to get it ready, you're post to rebuild that skin, and they can continue to use it afterwards all the time. They can just, a lot of people buy a retail because they love it. It doesn't have to just be part of the peel, but it should come together. If people have resistance when they buy this series of peel, it says Miss Mary bought 3 ferulic acids, but she doesn't want to use the post-procedure products. She doesn't want to buy. You'll have to explain this is a system. that works together, Miss Mary. We're playing with the pH of the skin. We're going to lower it. You want to make it higher. We're going to penetrate peels. We want to make sure that it's optimal and explain to them the difference between pH and show them the chart between having high and low pH, what it will do to her skin. And I cannot guarantee results unless you use the whole system, because the whole system is proven to work together. If you use something else, so what happens? If you're using a toner and this toner has a 7.5 pH, it's going to unbalance the skin. And again, we're working with the pH. So all the other products have different pHs and we can't mix one with the other. If you are using our Fusion brand, do not mix Fusion with Ekseption. Think about a Fusion as a medical anti-aging brand with cross-linked hyaluronic. Is all the products are made with the hyaluronic acid that's used in fillers. So all of the plump the skin is very anti-aging and is mesotherapy. Now with Ekseption, it's all brightening. So everything is going to have acids. It's brightening of the skin. So some of the products that we have, so we have a lot of serums available, and this is what they look like. Some of the new trends in USA that will happen soon, because everything from Europe takes a little bit long to get here, but it's usually a year or two. But this is going to be the new trend, anti-pollution. So just keep that in mind. So we're coming out with products that have that. So we have the urban depollution. So this is a good bacteria that will get rid of bad bacteria, right? And it has an SPF 30. So it's a very light serum. And it's good for maybe somebody who smokes, somebody who's at the casino. You know, lifestyle is important. When you're working with your client, you should know everything about them, what they do for work, because maybe they're in the sun all the time. Their lifestyle, what they do, where they go. I'm at the casino, I'm a smoker. You know, all these things are important to know. Their medical history and their medications. You want to know what medications they're on, please. We have Google, thank God. Go and Google in your room. Google, see what they're taking, and look for side effects. That way you'll know what side effects they're having, and if you know it's something that is reflecting on the skin. Then we have all the activators like the pH, the Caviar, the Ferulic, the Pure Skin, the Retinol. All of these are going to be for what? Activators to prepare the skin, to lower the pH, and to inhibit melanocyte activity. They can be used alone, and they still work very well. Then we have the repair creams. So on the repair creams, these are going to be your post. We have 3, and I'm going to put my mouse here. So we have the Caviar Repair, Ice Cream Repair, and Glacier Repair. The ice cream lift is not out yet. So those are the 3 that we have. So what is the difference? So when you do a peel, you can choose either one. We don't tell you it has to be a certain cream. Your Ice Cream Repair has the texture of ice cream. You can put it in the refrigerator. It's very refreshing. It smells really good, and it's loaded with growth factors. So this is going to repair the skin. It's beautiful. The second one is going to be your Caviar Repair. So your Caviar is a medium cream, so it's not so heavy. But the good thing about this cream also is that it's protein for the skin. And Sophia, can you send a message to Nilda? She has her camera on, I'm sorry. So the Caviar Repair is going to repair the skin using protein. So it's a medium weight. And then we have the Glacier, which is new. It's available already for oily skin. So this is going to be lighter. You can also put it in the fridge. It's very good. It has minerals, and it's going to help with the cooling of the skin and protecting the skin. So it's a repair cream. So those are your 3. You have your very heavy cream, you have your your medium, and then you have your oily. So those are your 3 repair creams. For the eyes, we have the Ultimate Eye Cream. And why the Ultimate Eye? The Ultimate Eye Cream has lactic acid. So people that have dark bag under the eyes or pigmentation, your Ultimate Eye Cream works fantastic. I used it for a couple of weeks, and I kept getting compliments. And, you know, I have green eyes, but, you know, I don't get that many compliments on my eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, your eyes are so beautiful. I thought maybe it was my mascara or something like that. The doctor here says, I know what it is. It's the Ultimate Eyes, because it has lactic acid. So your eyes are really, really bright. So I realized on myself, it works very well, so that you can use for pigmentation. Then we have the probiotic serum. It's brand new. It just came out. We'll just talk about that one. And the spotless, oh no, I'm sorry. I have the probiotic serum. It's also very good for sensitive skin. and it works really well. And I think we're coming out with a cream too. And the spotless serum is going to be concentrated for blemishes and pigmentation. This we just got in. So those are some of the new ones. We have the Ageless Cocoon that is anti-aging. It has a lot of hyaluronic and peptides, and is going to be good for wrinkles and for damaged skin. And the White Absorbe, this one, it's a natural form of retinol. So let's say you have someone that you can't do a peel, the skin is too sensitive to damage, you don't want to go that route. This is a natural form of retinol. It's very, very good for the skin, and it's very potent. If you use this every night for 6 weeks, you're going to brighten the skin and get rid of pigmentation. So that's a really good one. Your Hydration Sparkle is for hydrating, and it has lactic acid as well. And the Body Micro Peel is selling amazing. So this, instead of using a scrub on your body, so think about dead cells, right? They accumulate right on your body, one on top of the other. And when they accumulate and we don't remove it, eventually it creates an odor. So you guys have probably heard the expression where it smells like an old person in here. So what it is because a lot of older people don't exfoliate, the cells accumulate and it creates that odor. So when I learned that, I scrub my body every week, and I have my gloves, my exfoliating, and always exfoliate and remove the dead cells. Also, when you age, you're not going to see so much wrinkling of the skin. And what they have here, it's milk. And let me see, I'll get one and I'll show to you guys because it's really nice. It's a milk and it's a spray. So once you shower, you spray it. Half of it is the milk and the other half is glycolic acid. You spray it all over the body, you leave it, and it exfoliates, but at the same time, it hydrates the skin. You don't have to wash, you don't have to scrub. Scrubbing the skin with granules damages the epidermis and the structure, and it becomes, it changes the structure. The structure is different. It's not, I have to show you under a magnifier, but if you have one, take a look, and it really disrupts the skin. So this is a beautiful product for body, and it's an exfoliated, so it sells very well. If you have the skin polish, it's like a microdermabrasion, it's granules. I'm sorry, let me go back. It's granules, but this is for your room. So when you're gonna treat pigmentation, you can scrub or rub right on the pigmentation before the peel, and the peel is gonna penetrate better right on that area. It has little microcrystals, so it's going to penetrate on the pigmentation a little bit better. I'm gonna move to the cleansers really quick. Any questions?
None at the moment.
Okay, so we have the cleansings. We have the all-in-one, it doesn't foam. It also has glycolactin, so it's going to help brightening the skin. We have a micellar water that's to cleanse the skin, is to remove makeup. Now we have 2 toners. So now a lot of people are confused. Why do we have 2 toners? Everyone was buying the toner mist. So the Monson Mist is a 7.5 pH. So talking about pH, what this means is extremely high. And the reason we have this is to prep the skin for procedures. This is not to be sold to your client. This is for you to use in the cabin and prepare the skin and get more moisturization. So if the skin is more hydrated, if you have more water, you have more penetration of the peel. So you can actually put some of the peel of the toner, and then it's going to help penetrate. But you want to sell something to your client, and we have the matcha tea. The matcha tea is an antioxidant, and it's, I believe the pH is about 5, and this one is really good for the skin, and it hydrates, it moisturizes, so this is what you will sell to your client. We have an ultimate lip cleanser, and this one is new too. The interesting thing about this is a booster for lashes. So you cleanse your lashes, you cleanse your lips, and it's going to stimulate the lash growth. So it's a nice cleanser you can retail. Degreasing is to prepare the skin, get rid of all the oils. Carboxy, as we talk about, is the neutralizer. That's what's going to oxygenate the skin. And we have a regular and we have a hyaluronic. Then we have some powders. So what is the difference between a cleanser that's in a powder form and the ones that are in a cream form? So anything that has a powder form is going to be less irritant for the skin because it's not activated. So when it's not activated, it has less preservatives. So this is good for sensitive skin. We have the enzyme powder. and then there's going to remove all the dead cells. And then we have the salicylic that's going to be for acne. And always with salicylic, be careful. If the skin tends to be too sensitive, you may want to use something that doesn't have salicylic. The black detox powder, I have a picture here. This is a great add-on. Right now with the industry, we've got to put and sell some add-ons. This is great because it's charcoal. A little bit goes a long way. So when you apply it as granules, you mix it with water and it disintegrates and it turns into a mud. So as you rub it into the skin, it's exfoliating, it turns into a mud, and you're gonna end up with a black mask. And you leave it for 3 minutes and wash it so as to detoxify the skin. Please guys, we can do this as an add-on, detoxifying charcoal mask, and charge $15, $20, $25 depending on your demographics. Caviar liquid mask. So the Caviar, let's talk about the mask in retail a little bit. So back in the day, we never sell the mask, right? That's the one thing we don't sell. We can sell the creams, the serums, the cleansers, but not the mask. But with COVID now, masks are being sold everywhere. Everyone sells the mask because there's a high demand and people will use it at home. So some of these masks you can retail. I'm gonna tell you which ones and which ones you can't. In the Fusion brand, it's not here, we have a sleeping mask of hyaluronic. You apply it at night, you sleep with it. In the morning, your skin looks amazing. It sells very well because again, people are home, spending a lot of time doing their own treatments. So become creative. I just saw on Facebook a lady that was posting, what works for them in this difficult time. And she says, I'm selling facial in a box. So she puts a couple of products, a cleansing, a mask, a moisturizer, just a few products. And she's delivering to their house until she's able to see them and treat them again. So it's a facial in a box. You can give them a discount. You can make it pretty, put some samples. Again, we give you guys sample, utilize these samples and start becoming creative. So some of these you're gonna retail and you can start retailing the triple acid mask right here. That one, it's not to retail because it's very strong. It's an intensive treatment for pigmentation. You can only use it once a week. And this is only recommended, one every 15 days. And this is only recommended to use in the cabin because it's very strong and it's going to eliminate a lot of the pigmentation. Now, the post-peel mask is new. It just came out. And this is the mask you can use right after your peels. I want you to put this in the refrigerator, keep it cold. And once when you finish the peel, you neutralize, you cleanse with water, you apply this cooling mask and leave it for a few minutes. Your client is gonna love it. So that's new, that's not for sale either. So we're not retailing those. The Urban Depollution Mask, yes, you can retail that one. And it also has a little bit of acid. And again, anti-pollution is gonna be against tobacco, gases, heavy metals, anything that's on the environment. And we have the post-peel masks that you can also use for peels to recover the skin. So those are our masks. So we have a lot of new products. And the activators. So people ask, do I use a ferulic? Do I use a pH activator? Which one do I use? We have an activator for each peel. So if you're using Pure Skin, you can use the Pure Skin activator. The pH works with most of the peels. Your ferulic is gonna work with the ferulic, okay? That's with your activators. Ice cream or caviar repair. And now we have the glacier repair. I explained to you, ice cream is very heavy, it's thicker, older people, loaded with growth factors. You can put in the refrigerator. Caviar is protein, medium weight, not as heavy as the ice cream. And then glacier, very light, is gonna be for the oily skin. And if you guys don't mind, take a second just to have a little interaction here and drop on the chat box. I want you to tell me one thing or two things that you're doing in COVID that are helping your business. And I want to share these because we can all help each other and learn. So if you have something that's really working for you, I'd like you to share it with us and tell us, why it's working. So we can do that and we'll check in the meantime. Because this is what we need to be creative. I have, we do drop ship, by the way, guys. If you don't have the money, you can keep a lot of inventory and you want us to drop ship and you have a client or a client that's out of state, let us know and we will ship it for you. We won't put the invoice, we'll put a package list and we won't put any information, we'll ship it for you. And then you can start selling to your clients and say, hey, you know what, I can ship it to you. So we're offering drop ship. Samples are great. Start telling them, you know, if you buy the cleansing cream, I'm going to give you samples of an anti-pollution formulation and our all-day shield that are fantastic, complimentary at no cost. I just want you to try the products. So let's start being creative to increase revenue. And again, the peels are great because there is not so much contact with your client. You're not that close. You don't have to be close. You're applying with a brush. It's literally 15 minutes. You can charge $150 and they're going to be very happy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So before I move here, any questions, Sophia? Oh, I cannot hear you.
I have someone who let us know that they've been leaving their cards in random places, and that's been helping them through this time.
Your business cards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. And thank you for sharing that. So yes, hey, make 1,000. You know, if you're having money issues, go to Vistaprint, make 1,000 cards and give it everywhere. You know, it's working for her. Thank you for sharing. What's her name?
Lakisa?
Lakisa, thank you for sharing that with us. So, you know, drop your cards everywhere. Just tell people about what you do. Marketing is really important. And I feel that a lot of people need help with this in this area. There's a couple of things. And let me just go here. And I'm going to talk to you in a second about that. Hold on. Let me just go here to the last slide. Okay, so what we want to do for you, as a thank you for taking the time today and being with us in this webinar, you're going to have two options. We want to offer free shipping if you need any products. And you're going to use the code KS Webinar. That's on a $200 order. And also, if you choose, if you don't want the free shipping because you already have products, we have our peeling course that is online. I think we charge $400 and something or $500. We're going to give it to you free, complimentary, because I want you to learn more. I want you to understand. Even if you don't buy my line, my goal is to educate, to teach you, to help you. I want you to be successful and I want you to make money. Take our course, you know, but in order to do the free shipping of the course is a minimum of $200 purchase, and that is going to be my gift to you. So before I talk a little bit about marketing, that way you can choose to stay or not, because it wasn't part of the curriculum, but I want to share with you guys. Do you have any questions for me? Sophia, are you there?
No questions at the moment, but please feel free to ask.
Okay, great. So I'm going to close this webinar. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Okay. So I'm going to close this webinar by talking a little bit about the current situation and how we can help you in this difficult time. I know that it's hard. I know a lot of the states probably are not open, and I'm having difficulties. So let me tell you something that worked for me personally. I don't have a lot of clients because I'm in education and I own the business, but of course, you know, my mother and everybody tells their friends, so they call me and they started calling me, asking me about advice for their skin. What I did is I told them to send me a picture, and I would take a look and I would call them and have a phone, what do you call it? Interview or a phone consultation. And they send me the picture. So I analyze, I look at the skin. The great thing is on your phone, you can make it really, really big and you can look and you can really study their skin and see what's going on. Then I got on the phone and I asked them the questions, your lifestyle, when did it start, you know, medical issues, what's going on. And it was very easy for me to figure out what products they needed. And then I sent them to a website of one of my accounts because I don't sell. And I told them, yes, you can buy here. You can order the products. It's actually one of my distributors. You can order the products here and you can buy the products. I can't believe how much I sold. And again, that's not my business. That's not what I do. But I wanted to help because they were calling me and there was no questions asked. What do you need? I'm like, okay, you need a repair cream. You need a sunblock. You need this, that. Perfect. And they will place the order. No, they didn't even ask me for a discount. So phone consultations are great. And then I realized, because I'm getting more and more, that people don't want to travel. They don't want to go to the place for a consultation. You can do it over the phone and you can just sell them products. If you're starting your retail website, another thing that I did with the account that I'm working with, I said, let's make cards that says 20% your first purchase and see how that goes for you. And we created these beautiful cards that just have the picture of a woman, beautiful, and her name, her phone number, and on the back it says 20%. I said, anywhere that you go, give them the card and say, listen, if you order products on my website, you get 20% because I'm the owner. And they started giving those cards out and people are buying because you want to get them one time. Yeah, you're not going to make the full profit on the first client, but in the first purchase, but they're going to love the products and they're going to continue to buy. So you want to get them to your website to buy. Once they buy, that's it. So retail is huge. Have your website and just have them purchase, give them the 20% off. The phone consultation, you can also add a chat. That's something else we did for her website. We added a chat, speak to a professional, and she gets on her phone a notification. And anytime that they're going to buy a product or somebody random goes on her website and asks a question, she gets a notification and she answers, how can I help you? Well, I have dry skin. So you can do a consultation through chat, and you can do a consultation over the phone. So if you're home, please get on the phones. I want you to start calling all your clients. When was the last time you called your clients? And again, this was not planned. I'm just receiving that this is something I need to speak to you about. How many times have you called your clients and said, hi, Miss Mary, how are you doing? I just wanted to check on you. I know this is a difficult time. We did 10 microneedlings or 2 microneedlings, 2 pills. And, you know, we haven't seen you. Oh, well, my skin is so dry. I don't know what to do. You know what? Let me recommend a couple of products that I want you to use until you see me again. Here is a discount. And if you don't have a website, I can ship them to you and then we can ship it for you. Just send us an email and say, I need to drop ship for my client. And then you can send it. So phone consultations, create the cards, call all of your clients, pull your database, just show them that you care, show them some concern. How are you? How is your skin? How can I help you? How are you doing? We're going to be open soon. And if you're just opening now, also, you know what? You can work on your marketing. Go on Facebook and start adding. You can add people according to demographics. I want you to start adding all the people that you can, because if you have a database of 50 people and your marketing is not working, it may not be your marketing. You don't have to change the strategy. It's that you don't have an audience. So this is a time to build your audience. This is a time to start learning how to speak. If you're shy, if you have a problem, you know, I was like that, now I can talk, but before I was that way. Then start practicing on your phone, you know, record yourself. How do you speak in order to be able to communicate with your clients? And take a lot of classes. There are a lot of free classes right now. Get knowledge. The more education you have, the better it is. So those are just some of the tips that I've seen that are working. Facial in a box, drop ship, do cards, create a website, grow your audience on Facebook, before and afters. That picture that I show you from my account, her name is Maite. I don't know if she's on this webinar today, but Maite posted on Instagram and she gets so many clients just was posting before and after. And this girl just graduated from school. She's so busy. Her marketing is amazing. This is not a business of skin. This is a business of sales and a business of marketing. Do you guys have any questions?
I have one lady, Nelda's asking if we offer a credit line.
Okay, so we don't have a credit line. However, PayPal created credit lines and we accept it. So you can apply and PayPal will give you a certain amount of money. And with PayPal, you can pay for products. You can pay. I've had already a couple of people that have purchased devices and that have purchased products using PayPal. So if you want, look into that and apply with PayPal, and we can absolutely take the credit. I wish we could. We don't have that yet. You know, hopefully we'll have that in place one day.
And
Thank you for asking.
She says, well, she let us know that she also loves virtual consultations.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, it's fantastic. You don't have to leave your house. You can sell so much. I always say I sell sitting from my office, and I'm going to share something with you guys. So we are a company. We represent Fusion and Ekseption in the United States. And all of the sales we do, mainly we do here in our center. And we do a lot of the sales. And I tell people, how do we sell? From our offices. I don't have to be traveling to all the states. We have several accounts everywhere, just on the phones, talking to people, selling, educating. Sell through education. Don't sell them, well, this cream is good because it's for wrinkles, it's $40. No, do you know that your skin needs growth factors? Do you understand that we need to regrow the skin? Do you know that we have to stimulate? Through the education, knowing your ingredients, you know, we have peptides. Peptides send signals to the skin, and explain this. So through education, you can sell. So thank you for definitely for sharing that with us. I appreciate that. And yeah, virtual consultations will make you a lot of money in your retail, and they will come to see you because they're going to love you. And always, you know, make sure you sell yourself. You speak well, you look good, you have good skin, all these things, because they see you and they're going to be like, well, you know, her skin looks good. She can tell me what to do. So keep that in mind. If you're doing virtual consultations, always make sure if you're wearing your lab coat, you have a nice background, your makeup, your hair, that you look great, because people are very visual, and you're selling yourself as well because they're going to trust you. So that's important. Well, I think that this is all for today. That was just a little extra bonus. You have our email address, you have our phone number. If you have questions, as you know, we don't charge here for anything. Just buy the product, will help you. If you need marketing, advertising help, just send an email to Sophia or go in the chat and tell her, and she'll send you, we have a marketing email that's already created for you with posts for your social media, for your Facebook. They're already created, even hashtags. All you have to do is copy and paste. Copy and paste. You don't have to design anything. We have already our designers in Europe, which they create everything. And all you have to do is share. And please market yourself. Don't assume people don't have money. People are spending tremendous amount of money right now in beauty, more than anything. So this is the time to sell. This is the time to build relationships and clients, and you can do it. I'm very confident because all of you, if you're sitting here today listening to this webinar, is because you're vested, because you care about your business, and because you care about your clients and about your education. So that says everything right there. And thank you again. Any more questions, Sophia, or can we close up and wrap up?
No questions. I believe we're good here.
Great, great. Well, thank you guys. Have a great day. So it's Wednesday. Let's go and get it. Let's get some energy, get our accounts, and get education, and let's sell. And please call me. I'll be here all day if you need help. And if you want me to help you talking to clients, we'll call them together. I'll help you. Don't give up. We're going to keep on going. We're together on this. And thank you for your time. It was fantastic sharing with you today. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.